Let's move on to this weekend, though, and pleased to welcome back to the studio Dave Christian after a few weeks without seeing you. You must have enjoyed that reprieve, I think.
Well, Christmas break is always good, but there's always some sort of rugby thing to be doing in between, and we had the Jim Nicholson front row game on the 30th of December, and I'm going to do a little bit for that behind the scenes, so that kind of took up a lot of my time.
Back into the swing of things now, though. I think that the place to start this evening, for me in terms of local rugby, South Lancashire and Cheshire Division 3 South. A big game for Ramsey. They sit second, but it's far from straightforward for them to qualify for the next phase of the league.
Yeah, it's. I was describing this. I was having a chat with our rugby development officer, Chris Brannigan, last night, and describing what I thought was... it's a horrible league. It's a horrible system. We've not got enough teams for 2 full leagues, and we've got too many for 1 full league. So we're in a sort of halfway house in between, and Division 3 South, Division 3 North, the top 5 from each will go into a new league, which will form at the conclusion of the fixtures. And at that stage, we'll know who else Ramsey will be playing for the remainder of the season, depending on whether they finish in the top 5 or the bottom 5. Top 5 finishes a target. They're on course at the moment, but there's also another 6 sides who are capable of finishing in the top 5. So with 7 chasing 5 places, two lots are going to be disappointed no matter what happens. This Ramsey have got 3 fixtures left after this one, 2 against Ellesmere Port, who are the league leaders, and 1 against Birchfield, who will likely to be second, if not winning, because Birchfield play Ellesmere Port this weekend. So 3 really tough ones after Parkonians. Ramsey really need to get 4 or 5 points in the bag tomorrow. The players know what they're up against, and I'm sure they'll be up for the game. Parkonians played many times before. Generally, we win in the Isle of Man and we lose away on the Wirral, and that's the way the fixtures have gone for quite some time now, and they don't seem to be changing. And partly that's because you can't get your best side away all the time, and it's exactly the same for Parkonians, except they only have to make the trip the once. So really tight game. Parkonians are one of those sides who are in the mix. Got my fingers crossed Ramsey will pull it off, and we'll be there to cover that one on Saturday live. Kicks off at Murrick Park at 1:30.
Parkonians, though, will they have high hopes of getting something from the Murrick Park?
Yeah, I think they'll be reasonably confident. They beat Ramsey quite easily on the away leg, and in addition to that, they had a second view at Ramsey when Ramsey played Liverpool University students, because the game was played at Parkonians ground. So the players and supporters over there on the Wirral will have a good idea of what they're going to be up against. I suspect the team will have quite a few changes in it from the one they last seen, which was in November against Liverpool University. That was... there will be a few players in that game who won't be playing tomorrow, and there'll be some that weren't playing in that game that will be playing tomorrow. So it's a real mixed bag for Parkonians. The big news, I think, from the last outing away on the Wirral is that Dan Bonwick will be back. He was away at, I think it was England, Australia, Twickenham. And his return to the side, and since his return to the side, things have really gone well. He can play in the back row, he can play at scrum half, he can play at standoff, and any position in the back line, and he'd do a damn good job as well. A great all-rounder, and it's great to have him back in the side, and hopefully he'll be on tip-top form tomorrow, and we'll pick up 5 points against Parkonians.
And that's the game you'll be watching tomorrow for Saturday Live. Moving on to Vagabonds, they're away at Marple in South Lancashire and Cheshire Division 2. A bit of Christmas cheer for them, or New Year cheer, because they're not bottom of the table.
Yeah, it's a two-edged sword as ever. I think while I was down in New Zealand for the British Lions during the summer, we watched a draw in a game against Wellington, and afterwards the Wellington coach described the result as a bit like kissing your sister. He said that in a television interview, which outraged half of the listener, half of the watchers, and pleased half the others. So the result against Port Sunlight is one of those results for Vaggers. They've got a draw. They're off the bottom of the table. They've got some points. They've scored more points in the game than they had done in any previous game this season. However, Port Sunlight are the next team above them in the race to safety, and the gap was 17 points going into the game, and it's 17 points coming out of the game because they shared the spoils. So, like I said, mixed bag of results. Vagabonds have got a second team out over the Christmas period in that Jim Nicholson game I alluded to. They had a win as well, had a little bit of a drinky and a sing-song and all afterwards, so hopefully that's helped them build a little bit of team spirit as well. They've got a team for tomorrow for the Manx Plate game domestically. I think things are starting to maybe look on the up. Marple's a team that they should be looking at taking points from. Marple put, I think, 42 or 43 past them at Ballafletcher, and Marple's a difficult place to go and get a win, so I suspect they're not going to come back with a win tomorrow, but if they can come back with 1 point or potentially 2, that'll be a great result.
The other game, in North 1 West, Northwich against Douglas. I'll let you cover that with Ed Oldham tomorrow in Saturday Sport Preview. 2 matches in the Shimon Wilson Manx Plate, both 2:15 kick-offs. Douglas Celts against Ramsey B.
Yeah, we're going to have a venue change or a postponement. Not sure which, because discussions are still ongoing behind the scenes. What we do know is that Portishead isn't fit, so the game is, if it's going to be played, it'll have to be played elsewhere. Ramsey for a 3:30 kickoff is possible, but Douglas will struggle to get a side up for that. So we're currently investigating the possibility of Vagabonds with a 12 o'clock kickoff. But again, that will be down to whether or not Ramsey can get the players out. As soon as we hear any more news from that, we'll get it out to Manx Radio. We'll also put it out on Manx Rugby's Facebook page as well. So we'll try and get the message out as soon as we get a decision on that. But the club's having a little haggle over it, and it'll either be on at Vagabonds at 12 o'clock or postponed at the moment. Emerging Nomads Vagabonds B is the other fixture that was scheduled for King William's College, but we got a venue change for that as well. That will be switched to Ballafletcher, and that's because King William's College isn't fit to play on either. I suspect even if Western Vikings did have a game out at QE2, I suspect Western Vikings would be unfit as well with the heavy rain there's been during the week. It is only the most durable pitches that you'll get games on, I think, at this time of year.
And just in a one-word answer, the Shimon Wilson Manx Shield, also a 2:15 kick-off. Can you see Castletown upsetting the odds?
No.
Dave Christian, pleasure to have you back in 2018.